Hey everybody, before the show starts, log on to musicmoneymakeover.com/shop to download all my books and free guides. And while you're there, click on the book a call tab to book a one-on-one Zoom call with me to get all your music business questions solved. Enjoy the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Music Money Makeover Show. My name is Casey Graham. And look, hey, we got a good one today. We're talking about how to make money streaming music in 2021. All right, so I know that this is like something that might seem generic, but I know this is something that a lot of you all want to touch on. Now, without going into the detailed mechanics at the beginning of your journey, I'm going to give you a broad scope of how this will look for you generating music with music streaming. A lot of you all have gripes about the streaming services, and you're like, okay, I don't want to put my music on the streaming services because they don't pay enough money. But in actuality, you got to understand how to use the streaming service as a tool and understand that it is a supplement to your entire pie of your music career. All right. It is one way that you make money from your music. And a lot of you all look at it as this is the only way I can make money from my music. And you got to kind of open your mind up a little bit more so that you can produce more revenue with your music, okay? So now before we hop into this whole breakdown of how you can make music or make money from streaming music in 2021, we got to jump into our Copyright Explained. Come on, it's been every video in 2021. I said I was going to do it. I haven't missed one yet. If you got to skip around this section, use the chapter skippers below. And don't forget to donate to the channel right here. You can do so. Thank you to everybody who has donated your $5 and $10. I humbly thank you and I appreciate it. All right, let's hop into Copyright Explained. Copyright, the sole right which an author has in their own original literary compositions. The exclusive right of an author to print, publish, and vend their own literary works for their own benefit. Now, of course, there are two main rights of copy that the music industry operates and revolves around, and that's the masters and the publishing. And the masters is referred to as the sound recording copyright. Sound recordings as in records, masters, phonogram, or the audio recording file, i.e. the WAV, MP3, AIFF of the composition and or song. Now you can collect your master recording royalties or the proceeds due from the sale and streaming of the master recording via your distributor like TuneCore or DistroKid, and if you have a major label deal, then it's them. All right? Now you can also collect the performance royalties via the master sound recording via Sound Exchange and PPL over in the UK. Sound Exchange is based here in America. And if you are outside of America, any other organization that collects these sound recording performance royalties are referred to as neighboring rights. Now, publishing is referred to as a performing arts copyright here in America. Okay, performing arts as in the composition, sheet music, MIDI files, publishing, or song to be performed. You can collect the performance royalties for the composition via BMI, CSAC, ASCAP here in America and PRS over in the UK, and other countries have their own performing rights organization as well to collect those royalties for you. All right, now, you can collect the mechanical royalties due from the composition via Harry Fox, Music Reports, and the Mechanical Licensing Collective here in America. You can also collect your mechanical royalties over in the UK from MCPS. So now, Lyric Find right here. You can get your lyric display royalties from Lyric Find and Music Match, but that's that. Let's go through the 6 rights of copyright to be exercised to the fullest extent of the United States Code under Title 17, and that's the right to reproduce. The right to reproduce the copyrighted work in copies or phonorecords, physical or digital format. The right to prepare derivative works. The right to prepare derivative works based upon the copyrighted work. The right to distribute. The right to distribute copies or phonorecords of the copyrighted work to the public by sale or other transfer of ownership or by rental, lease, or lending. And then we have the right to public performance, the right to perform the copyrighted work publicly, the right to public display, the right to display the copyrighted work publicly, and the right to digital performance, and that's the right to digital audio transmission performance. All right, so now that we've watched Copyright Explained, all right, that's going to give you some boost to go forward here, and then kind of understand what I'm saying, because you'll see that I have to pull from some pieces of Copyright Explained to make some of this streaming stuff work. It is how you're going to know how to make money. If you don't know how the money flows in this music economy, you will be lost in the sauce. It is no longer, let's rely on the record label to do all this work for us anymore. Okay, so we gotta understand where's the money coming from. All right, and you gotta collect all those pennies, because those pennies turn into dollars. I've seen it, and I've seen people who get the checks and they realize like, oh, I get it. Well, we got to get some more attention going so we can make some more money. And that's why I'm doing today's episode. So let's go ahead and jump into this kind of classroom session that I'm really liking. If you all love the way I'm presenting this material now via the computer, all right, then let me know in the comment section. I'm really curious as to how you're learning from what I'm displaying via like the slides, because it used to be like static, but now I got some motion going. So tell me what you think about it. All right, let's jump into the computer here. Okay, everybody. So there are 3 factors, to garner attention digitally. Let's just address this thing. We can get through this pretty quickly, but you got to rock with me on this. All right, follow me. If we're generating music, we're generating money streaming music in 2021. This is what we got to look at. Social media will only give you 10% of your total traffic. So imagine, like I'm in Atlanta, you're in downtown Atlanta. There's always a traffic jam at some point in the day for no reason at all, right? Because people who are moving here haven't realized that you're supposed to drive like 75 through the Grady curve and you're supposed to drive 80 miles an hour at minimum everywhere else. I don't get it, but they just get here and they drive slow. I don't know why, but you gotta get used to these hills and curves over here. Anyway, there's a traffic jam. There's a traffic jam on social media. You can only see so many people on the stream. Therefore, almost every major social media platform besides TikTok just yet will only allow for 10% of everybody who's following you to actually see your post. So you're only converting at 10% the whole time at any given time on any social media platform on average. Okay. Got to turn this phone off for all of you all who are texting me right now on my phone. Turn that off real quick. All right. So social media is currently paying mechanical royalties via TikTok, IG, and Facebook stories only right now. And then YouTube Music pays, the music function of YouTube pays those mechanicals, not the actual site itself. And it knows how to determine the two. And then also we've got social media, right? Social media is paying performance royalties for TikTok, IG, and Facebook stories only. And then YouTube with the music function and the regular YouTube itself. Okay. So you'll see this stuff show up. So we know, okay, we can get mechanical and performance royalties from these, at least to my knowledge, from these 3 sites right here. That's cool. That's great. You're streaming. Don't forget, you are streaming, okay? So collect these royalties. And I have a video based on this. I'll probably throw it up here in the corner. And you can click on that video to learn how to get these royalties from here. But enough of my soapbox. All right, so now we got to look at this. We live in an attention economy, all right? And if you haven't noticed during the whole CV-19 thing that happened, the attention factor online went through the roof. And if you weren't producing content at that time when you didn't have an audience, you missed the boat tremendously because currently we are in a attention recession. See, so everybody's trying to get back to work, but if you produce content during the last 12 to 14 months, you know what I mean? That's how a lot of you all found me. But anyway, if we live in an attention economy, always have, always will, if that's the case, then the amount of effort you put into drawing authentic attention is how you will get it back. So, even though he's running backwards right here, the amount of effort that you're putting in will equal a force. You'll develop a force field around yourself, a gravitational pull to you. And the result of that will create attention and leverage right here. So the attention will be on the top, the leverage will be on the bottom because it'll be pushing the people who are watching you forward. All right. And that's what you have. Let me tell you about attention. Attention, you can do a lot with attention. Leverage is how you make money with it. And the attention is where it's the tool that you're going to use to make the money. All right. Leverage is going to be a tool too, but that's going to be the force. And attention, you're just going to take all those eyeballs and you're going to direct them anywhere you want to go. It's like riding a horse, right? That's what it is. It's like, you're guiding something in front of you, something that you have control over in the people. And this attention right here is where you want to guide those eyeballs. So let's keep going. You want to put them on the streaming service. All right. So, let me move this out the way. Leverage attention equals money. If you don't have attention, you have no leverage. So it doesn't matter about the gripes that you all have with the streaming services. You don't have no attention, you don't have no leverage, which means that you're not going to get any money on the streaming services. Nobody is just going to willingly go and stream your music because you said one time that it's out there. It doesn't work that way. You have to, let's go back. You have to put some effort in. And you create this gravitational force field here. Okay? And then you create this. And then you drive the people to the streaming services. It will be an ongoing thing. You start with nothing. Once you create that gravitational pull, that force, then every time you say, all right, we're getting ready to drop an album, then people will say, oh, okay, tell us where to go get it. Or you generate more force and more during your promotional period before the album comes out. And then now you have enough gravitational pull and attention to focus on the album. If you don't have this, anything you release on Spotify, Amazon Music, Tidal, whatever it is not going to matter, and nobody's going to care, and nobody's going to come crying you a river because you couldn't make money. All right? That's just what it is. All right? So that find out how you can get some authentic attention. I've been talking about different methods and ways to do that. But that's where we live, all right? Now, if you want to go back in the day and you're still anybody that's trying to chase a deal right now from the jump has got it wrong. And if you're an artist and someone tells you, hey, man, we're going to make this music and we're going to go get a deal, and that's the second step, get clear away from that person. Because you are going to leave your hands in your career in the hands of somebody who is going to run it in the ground immediately. Because all the label is going to do is say, hey, man, yeah, you got some great music and you got a little bit of stuff going on, but we need you to go back and do this work because we don't have anybody to work in the marketing department for us, so we need you to do this yourself. And then come back to us and tell us that you've done all of this and we see that you have the numbers, and then maybe we'll think about a deal. But at that point, it's like, why do it? I only need your marketing and distribution services. I really don't need anything else from you. So how do we make money with streaming? Always have, right? Actually, that's a edit. I should take that out. But anyway, how do we make money with streaming? Showcase that you actually do music. Document your process of doing it on social media. I always talk about making micro content on social media, all right? Because that way you don't get so caught up in the overproduction of content. You got to produce a lot of it because remember, we're only converting at 10%. We're only converting at 10%. So you got to create a lot of content in order to gain some attention. And if you try to go out and do it in the physical, you're going to encounter the same problem within the streets of your musical community wherever you are. So you got to do both at the same time. Remember, streaming is a supplement. We don't want to abandon streaming. It's just a supplement to our process. It's another piece of the pie. It's not the whole pie. And for those of you all who are trying to focus on streaming as the whole pie, that's why you're losing. So now you got to direct people to your project or album on streaming platforms all the time, either directly or indirectly through content and putting music in stories and having user-generated content and all this other stuff. You're either going to tell them directly or let your fans tell the other fans. That's how it's going to work. And then maybe some media and press will tell people about your music. But I can't deal with the Cry Me a River stories about how I can't make money with music when you didn't even try. So now I'm going to get off my soapbox and I'm going to get out of the computer and then we'll get back on camera. All right, so my main takeaway from this clip is I just want you all to understand streaming is a supplement to your entire pie of all of your revenue streams. If you rely on it, okay, solely, then you will realize that you're actually not making money from your music. There are other ways to do it. We're just addressing streaming. We're not addressing like music as merch sales. We're not addressing merch sales directly. We're not addressing fan shout outs. We're not any other way you can make money. We're not addressing endorsements, sponsorships, paid ads, none of that stuff. All right. You all have a method now of making more money than all of the legacy artists had back then. And you can make it all within a 365-day period like that, if you know how to utilize the tools you have. You have so much more freedom now, okay? And with that being said, I want to jump into a clip of Young Guru explaining how he views the streaming services and where the future of streaming is going. Now, granted, this clip is 2 or 3, no, it's older than that. It came out in 2017, all right? It's an old clip, okay? But it's still relevant. And so I figured I would just toss it in at the end of this video because I think you all should kind of see it from an inside perspective on the power of streaming and where it can go. All right. Don't just cut it off just yet. I'm not a hater on these platforms. You have to use them right. All right. Check it out.
You had said something too, Gu. Like you said, I didn't understand them. You could probably give me more clarity. You said counting streamers like when the NBA added a 3-point line. It's needed, but those who played with one should be remembered.
Yeah. So that means this. People got to understand when we was counting numbers and there are certain things that you can quantify. Right? People used to count how much did you sell, right? Would you do your first week, right? All of these numbers that we use to quantify things. Right. Now with streaming, people have to understand, imagine if I got paid for every time that the Blueprint played in somebody's car. You're counting that number now. You understand what I mean? So you added a 3-point line. We were playing in the game before there's an ability for you to score more points now because we're counting streaming, which I think is necessary. I'm not saying that streaming is where we're going. It's very necessary. It's the future of where we're going. And in actuality, when we figure out everything, it's going to be a bigger revenue stream for all the artists. It's going to be an easier way for you to make more money than just off of album sales. But when you're coming in, then comparing your career now to careers of the past, let's remember that these people were shooting without a 3-point line. That's really my point. You understand what I mean?
In the league.
Yeah, so they were playing in that league without that 3-point line. So their averages, all their accolades are without this thing that you have. And I love, as an engineer, I love solving problems. I love figuring it out. I love and know that I'm in a time that's changing. Every time I've seen it change, I know that it's changing. So it's like, this is a beautiful thing. If we don't have the sales of the physical albums anymore, then we need something for the artist to have a revenue stream. So this is creating something where, okay, now everybody can make money off of the streams. But it's also a thing where I see some of the younger artists like kind of comparing themselves to other people, and it's just like, whoa, hold up, fam. Like, remember, this guy was shooting without a 3-point line. So, it's just different in terms of the argument. But I think it's a great thing. I think where we are still has to be figured out. We actively have people in Congress lobbying for certain laws so that people can get more money or have an equal share of money. We just haven't figured it all out yet with streaming, but we will. Like, this is new, guys. Like, I'm saying that to the world. Like, guys, this is new. We're just figuring this out. So let us figure it out. I'm not saying not us as a community, us as a collective, a music collective, and say what's fair. What's fair for the artist? There can't be just one rate. Because I could be, all of our music, everybody's music is on the same platform. But if I'm on your platform and I get these many streams per week or per year, my value is stronger than the person that didn't get this or that. So my rate should be different, is what I'm saying. There can't be just this blanket rate because it will undersell for the people that overachieve, and then it will make it unfair. Right. So we just have to figure out what that actually is.
Okay, everybody, so that's been the show. Make sure you log on to musicmoneymakeover.com, like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a hefty comment down here if you really love and like the way I'm presenting this stuff going forward. I think this is something that I'm going to continue. And text me 470-291-5767, 470-291-5767. Yeah, it's a lot of you all texting me now. I'm getting to them as fast as I can. And if I don't answer your text within 2 to 3 days, text me back. Okay. That shows how bad you want it. And that also lets you know how busy my phone is because it's going off at 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, I'll see you all later. Peace. Everybody, thanks for watching the show. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com/shop to download all my books and free guides. And while you're there, click on the Book a Call tab to get a one-on-one Zoom call with me to get all your music business questions answered and solved. Thanks for watching.